Segura Nina. This is the show of conversations. Today I'll be interviewing.
Hi, how are you?
I am great.
Good. Well, I am Anita Daniels. I am the founder and president of Anita D Designer Foundation, a nonprofit organization that was formed to provide disaster relief for families who lost their homes during the storms of 2017, specifically Hurricane Harvey.
Okay.
And what we're doing, we started out last year. We made our year anniversary post Hurricane Harvey, and we came up with this idea, me and my team, not an idea, but a plan, a program to provide 50 homes, to design and to build and fully furnish 50 homes for Hurricane Harvey families whose homes were destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And so since that, we have not only designed the homes, and they're sustainable and they're innovative homes. They have a sustainable piece where the families will be able to withstand the floodwaters instead of the floodwaters rushing in at one time after the storm. The sustainable product or material that we will have around these homes, or that we have around these homes, or that we've implemented into the building materials, will slow down the water. And then not only that, after the water recedes, they won't have to be concerned about pulling out molded sheetrock and getting sick afterwards. And the innovative piece for the homes is that these homes are smart homes. So we know that a lot of families really can't afford to live in a smart, innovative, and sustainable home that's geared toward, potentially stopping the after effects of hurricane storms. And so we've devised a plan working with private donors as well as government donations and grants to get these homes built for our families. And since we've done this, it has been like a domino effect, because it started out as a grassroots. It was a grassroots effort. We just started making our phone calls to our contacts. We started shouting out to our social media and doing some little soft things here and there, advertisement, to let people know what we're doing and to gain the support that way. But as we did, and we began to get so much notoriety, and also just attention. So people began to contact me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. What are you doing? What are you doing? And so it was just a domino effect. And so a little bit. Let me go back a little bit to tell you a little bit about me and how I got to this point. In the city of Houston, I have owned and operated an interior design firm for over 23 years. And I've also worked in the fashion design industry as well. I've had the opportunity to work with some A-list entertainers and designing some sets for different stage productions and so on. And some of my family who own homes here in Houston and out of the Houston area are very high end. And so I've been doing that for a long time.
So do you still do it now?
I do, but this year has been dedicated solely to the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation.
To the foundation. Last year, my design company, hit a pivotal point in our career, and my company was chosen as the official design company for the Super Bowl. We designed the media center lounge, and so what that was, we designed and we built out in the George R. Brown Convention Center, the media center, and we hosted over 5,000 media personnel from all over the world, NFL players, celebrities, for 8 days. So we had about 40,000 people coming through that place every day, and the accolades that we got was just phenomenal. But you get to a point in your life where you just want to do something a little bit more,
a little
different,
bit more, and to help others like you're doing now.
Yes, purpose driven. Yes. And so that's where I was. I had, you always have this private journal that you writing down things, your secret things, your secret wish list. And so I'm a writer, and so I would always, find myself, writing in my journal about different things that I wanted to do on my bucket list or what have you. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do was to build these cottages, beautiful little cottages, snuggled away in wooded areas for women and their children. And I've called it a secret place. And so, but when I watched everything that happened, the devastation that happened during and after Hurricane Harvey, I had this survivor's remorse. And I said, you know what, I know that there's something deeper what I'm supposed to be doing. And then it was like a light. It went off, and I remembered the secret place. And then God told me, this is what you're supposed to do. Here are your families right here. Yeah. They need you. They need your expertise, because one thing I do know, I know space. I know how to design space. I know how to set space. And I've worked with general contractors, commercial general contractors, architects, and so on and so forth for many, many, many years. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to give it all back. And I'm going to pour it into the lives of others to affect change. So we have been questioned, me and my team, about, well, we want to be a part of your group, so I'm a realtor, and you need someone to handle your mortgages and, get these people qualified. And I'm going like, no, that's not what it's about. We're giving these away. We're giving these homes away. And people were like, you can't do this. How can you do this? And I told my team, as I'm leading them, we're going to disrupt the building industry. We're going to cause a disruption in the building industry, and we're going to do it. We're going to affect change, because I am a believer that, especially in the United States of America, everybody should have the opportunity to live in a safe and healthy environment. The reason why I came up with the sustainable product that we're putting around the perimeter of our homes to retard mold and slow down the floodwaters is because I have an 11-year-old, and he has been diagnosed with life-threatening asthma. And then here, in my adult age, I was just recently diagnosed with asthma.
I have asthma myself. Actually, I had asthma since 6 weeks. And
oh, wow.
I've been in the hospital at one point in ICU from life-threatening asthma.
So you understand. I mean, and mold, for you to be, I was watching the people tearing out the mold, these families, because they just wanted to get back into their home. And so they were tearing out that sheetrock and not knowing the devastation that they could cause to their health. And, and then I saw children, around, and that. And I said, this is just not healthy. And so as we began to advertise on my website, we were found by a foundation from over in South Africa, a foundation that has been in existence for many, many, many years. The founder called me, and he said, I can't believe of what I'm reading. I said, yes. And he said, he asked me, are you really building homes for people after a natural disaster? I said, yes. He said, I thought I was the only one in the world doing this. He said, we build homes in 24 to 48 hours. And our homes we build are out of a system, a brick system, a cement brick system that he invented. And he said, I would love to share it with you. He said, because some of the things that you have identified on your website, we can accommodate. And I was like, oh my God. So we just started getting, more and more inquiries about this, and more people began to come to the table. And so now we are helping the Coastal Bend area. We're one of few organizations, nonprofit organizations in the community that actually have this particular model. And we have been speaking with different COGs and different political figures about their different counties and the little cities that were affected. We chose to go outside of Houston to help and to build because we did our research and we found out that more of the smaller cities and counties are still displaced, and people don't even know that. Today,
Yeah.
they're still that some of them are actually living in gutted out homes with nothing but just the shell. They're living in FEMA trailers. They're being we were down in one of the particular counties the other day speaking with the mayor about the redevelopment. We're going to redevelop her entire city, and we went around and we began to speak with some of the families, and this one lady just broke my heart because she told us, she said, every 30 days a FEMA representative is knocking on my door asking me to leave because they need to take the trailer. And she said, let me walk you through my home. And I went inside of her home. There's nothing in her home, nothing but the beams, and that's it. And they are trying to take the trailer away from her.
That's really sad, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just sad because it's not supposed to be like that in the United States of America. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. And I'm sure other people feel that way too. And to see these people living like this in Texas. Texas is one of the greatest states in America, the richest state in America. And I don't think it should be like that. And so that's what we're doing. That's what the Anita D. Designer Foundation is all about, and that's what we're doing in the community.
That's really great.
Yeah,
how many homes have you built since Hurricane Harvey?
Oh wow, we're in the process of building in one county 200. In another county, we're in the process of building, I want to say 20. This last one that I'm living in Austin now, and I came down on yesterday to visit with this one little city, and all 200 of her homes are affected or destroyed by Hurricane Harvey, except 2 homes were left standing. So now we're getting ready to start on that particular city as well. So
that's really good. And as you said before, there's still homes left behind from Hurricane Harvey. I live in Montgomery County, kind of the outskirts of Houston, New Caney.
Okay.
And we flooded out there, and they still have a few people actually in our neighborhood. The homes are still flooded, and they haven't came back yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
really
God.
Bad.
Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of families not returning, we saw yesterday that there are abandoned homes out there because there was no help, and so they got tired of waiting around, and they just packed up and left. Nobody even knows where they are.
Luckily, me and my husband had an RV. Actually, we live on 5 acres, and we actually have another place in Centerville, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So during the hurricane, we actually went to Centerville, Texas to stay for a few weeks until everything was back to normal. When we came back, our house was flooded, and we had to go back. You know, at least we had a little help from FEMA to get stuff back to normal.
Wow.
And stuff, so yeah.
Wow, I tell you. And we're hearing that over and over and over about the help that they got, how much help they got, and how much they received here and there. But it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough at all. So luckily my husband had money to get the property back together and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
But a lot of people didn't have the money, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. So a lot of people haven't returned to their homes.
Oh, wow.
So it's still vacant there.
Right. Yeah, and we were, when my VP and I were out there on yesterday, and one of the questions we were asking was, is there any way that you can get in touch with the, individual families who actually left? And they have no records. There are no records because, for whatever reason, one reason or another, maybe, and so we're just working with them to redevelop the areas. And, like I said, it just, I can't say enough how it just really touched my heart to see people still living in the deplorable situations that they are after the hurricane, and now we're in full-blown hurricane season again. The rain started coming in on yesterday when we were touring the area. And I was so nervous. My VP was driving, and I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, wait, don't go up, wait, and let me make sure there's no water because I don't want to, But I know if I feel like that, I can only imagine what these people are feeling, and we're trying to get help to them as quick as possible. We had a particular city. We were speaking with their economical development council, and after we had our phone conference with them, and they were sharing with us what they needed us to do and who they needed us to reach out to. The letter, they wrote me an email, and they told us that they had spoken with so many government officials who came through their town, their city, promised them this and promised them that, and then they never returned. They told us that they enjoyed speaking with our group and our team more so than any other group that has even visited them. And then at this point, even with funds and grants being made available, what we're experiencing is that they don't even trust the government to even go and take advantage of what's out there. And and that's where we're stepping in. And we are a development organization, meaning that we are the developers. We're going in and redeveloping their areas, making sure that the areas are updated, the foundations that the homes that we are building on are raised higher, and that the product that's being used in those lower lying areas of Texas, that they will be able to sustain the hurricane forces and the aftermath.
And I heard that some areas were flooded because the reservoirs were opened also in our area too. That's why I think some of our homes flooded. Actually, they said the reservoirs in Conroe, they opened them. Yeah.
And and I understand that part too.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that part. I really do. And I understand why they have to open up the reservoirs, why they have to release the pressure, because it could mount up and cause even more
damage to the homes in Conroe.
Exactly.
It's really not fair to the people that live in my area, because the water comes there and flood our homes.
Wow. And see, and that's where developers and engineers, civil engineers, come in to play. They need to come into the areas and do their feasibility studies to bring to these towns that are not as sophisticated maybe as your Houston, and say, hey, look, this is what we need to do with our with the infrastructure here. It needs to be changed. It needs to be updated. Unfortunately, in a large city like Houston, where the infrastructure has already been laid, and Houston has grown to a massive degree, it's hard to change the infrastructure. It's going to take decades to do that. But a place like Conroe and places like that, they need to do it now.
Yeah, so it won't happen again.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would love to shout out to our followers on social media. On Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you guys for all of your support. And please follow us, support us. The name of our foundation is Anita D. Designer Foundation. If you want to check us out, you can just go to our website, which is anitadanielsfoundation.org or .org. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to have your support as well.
Well, thank you for talking about your organization.
Thank you.